Welcome to Tent Talk, the podcast with Nancy McCready, where we talk about life under the big tent of God's presence and the provoking process of discipleship. Here we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to Tent Talk. This is Nancy McCready. Today's episode will help you to begin to take the responsibility over your life, having sovereignty over your life as you yield more and more to God leading you. I hope that this takes you deeper with Him and that you'll connect more with me. Sometimes we're angry because we are waiting on others to make our life happen. And we may not even realize that we have slowly but surely been abdicating and forfeiting the sovereignty that we have over our own life. We certainly have authorities that we submit to. We know that God gives people for our life to pour into us, that we know that being in connection with others will definitely bring things that are hidden in us to the surface. So in none of this am I saying that somehow we're supposed to, cast off authority or to ignore relationships. I'm not saying any of that, but I'm saying there's a deepening sense of sovereignty over your own life. If you're married, you and your spouse have a sovereignty over your home. No one else runs your home. And yet it is true as an individual that no one else runs you. And it is very easy to become passive because we keep thinking someone else is going to make my life happen. And it's as we mature and as we get older and hopefully wiser in His ways, and that His life is actually opening up inside of us. Therefore, we're hitting new developmental markers in our maturity of His actual life in us, that we begin to realize I have a deep God-given responsibility, a sovereignty over my life, to decide who will I yield it to, which path will I take, what risks am I willing to step into, what am I willing to walk away from so that I can walk into the deepening will of God. I've recently spoken here on Tent Talk about it's time to get specific. I've also spoken about anger because that can again, be a slow boil underneath because we thought others were going to make something happen rather than realizing they were a part of the journey, a part of our development and the skills within us, the very spiritual muscles of our life being developed and worked out. But they were not responsible to make our life happen. And I am grateful for all those who have been responsible to me, not those who are responsible for me, meaning it's no one else's responsibility to bring me to a place of obedience to the will of my Father. That is mine and mine alone. That's yours and yours alone. And so sometimes we wake up in life and we realize we've been working and performing thinking that that was going to make some doors open for us. And when those doors then are not happening and the process isn't happening the way that we thought, again, there's a slow boil of subtle anger that can be happening inside of us. Maybe this is happening in you, and I want you to recognize that as a part of your awakening to, yes, there's been years of preparation. Yes, God has been maturing you. Yes, He's been, revealing many things, to you over the years that you realize that, you needed to let Him work on. All of these aspects and moving parts, of process. But you're beginning to really awaken to, hey, it's time for me to begin to respond to Him and His call to me on such a deeper level. And I don't want you to miss that.
For more information on Nancy, please visit nancymccready.com or follow her on social media at NBMcCready.
So there's an old saying that I think goes something like, an angry man is an awakened man. And I want you to recognize that some of this anger, some of this agitation and all that you may have been experiencing and feeling is a part of you awakening to the fact that earlier views and interactions with authority, things like that, were for such a time as that. But for such a time as this, it is for you to respond to His sovereignty and authority over you. That's what causes you to step into your real authority, is that you yield yourself more and more to Him. Now, this is not about being in rebellion. This is not about, flipping somebody off. This is not about being reckless. But it can feel that way at times if you've been a person who's been very focused on walking with the authorities in your life. But there's also scripture that says that those who are faithful over that which belongs to another then are truly being prepared to oversee their own. And so some of you may need that encouragement today to recognize that the anger that you may be feeling, the awakening to things, is not just you being critical of others. It's a part of just beginning to recognize certain things that are patterns in other people's lives. And so I want to close out this episode today, encouraging you to really lean into the Father so that you don't keep cycling through anger, frustration, depression, and hopefulness that someone else is about to make your life happen. No, God has made your life happen, and your response to Him then brings it into your reality. So it might be time to step up your responsibility for your own life and for the call that God is putting out to you, and begin to take those steps. And then I think you'll see anger dissipate. You'll see that a lot of that is expectations in the wrong place. So I hope this encourages you, and that it takes you a little bit further in to what He's doing in your life, in the slow fire discipleship, the real slow burn of growing up as a son to the Father. All right? Love you all. Talk to you soon.
If you'd like information on how to book Nancy McCready for an event or speaking engagement, visit nancymccready.com.